Hello everybody, welcome to the Smart Examiner Manager tutorial. I'm so excited. I'm really, pumped up about this. My name is David and I'm really excited for this opportunity to be able to walk you through this manager application. Okay, the very first thing we're gonna do here is to talk about the exams, and then we'll go on to talking about groups. Before we'll probably look at examinees and a few other things. Now, we already created the exams from the designer application. And so what we want to do here is to just import it. And there are a number of places we can actually do that. And we can either click over here, or if we, click on this and we go over to the tabular view of the exams, we can also add exams from here. Another place we can do that is from the file menu, click, and then we select the add new exam. So those are three options you have, and I'm just gonna use this. So clicking on this, I'm just gonna select this one which we created from the designer tutorial, and you can see the process adding exam. Please wait, and we get the prompt that the exam has been added. So we can see that in the tabular view where we get more information, and then we also see that on the list view here. And so what I'm going to do is to just click on this. So I just explain a few things that shows up. So clicking on this, we get to see more information about the exam itself. So we get to see the exam title, which we selected a tutorial exam, the exam code, Raters of tutorial, the exam version. This is 1.0. This is basically what we created way back, but this version is the 2.0. We're working with version 2.0. It is more like the most recent version. I don't know when you're gonna be watching this, but currently now this is the most recent version. But I'm just gonna explain, what this is. So this is just trying to tell you the version of the application that the exam was created with. So it was created with the very first version. And this exam earlier start time and the time zone, I'm just gonna say you should avoid that for now. It just basically reads the time on the system with which you used to develop the application. Originally, the intent was to use that time to configure when you're going to start the exam, but we got a number of feedback about that and we decided to scrap that. So for the most part, it's just for display purposes, it's not active. The exam visibility settings talks about when examinees want to log in to start the exam, is this exam going to be visible? So what happens is that you can configure a number of exams that students can take depending on the settings. It could be students or applicants, or as the case may be. And it's possible that some exams may be for a future date and you don't want them visible at the time, so you can toggle that. We're going to talk about that. So exam active status talks about if this exam is active. Obviously it is. And this talks about the time which we just added it on the last updated time. This talks about the file size and then the paper flow. If you do not understand what the paper flow talks about, I would advise you go to watch the designer tutorial first of all, and we're still gonna talk more about this when we get into the exam, when we're taking the exams, doing tutorial showing you how this works. So this talks about the number of papers in the exam, and we just have a single paper here, which is aptitude. As you can see, it just has 4 questions. And that's basically it. This other section talks about examinees that have been mapped to it, and we're going to talk about examinees in future tutorials. So we've been able to successfully create an exam. So let's just talk about groups. As you can see here, I already have a group here, and apparently it has about close to 1,400 students If we come to the examinees here, you see that there are already examinees added, but we're going to walk through how to add them. Okay, you can add from Excel sheets. You can also add manually if you'd want. So groups in this case, you could, depending on the setting, you could see them as a class. In a school setting, you could see it as a class. So let's say we're talking about like GSS1 or SS1. As the case may be, if you are in an organization or in a job setting, you could say, okay, this is I don't know, May 2011 applicants, May 2020 applicants, or that kind of thing. So it just allows you to be able to group examinees together. It could also be an exam which you're organizing at a particular time, which we talked about, or for a particular group of people. It just you can customize the group anyhow you want. But the useful thing about the group is, as opposed to attaching exams to individual examinees one after the other, if you put examinees within a group, you can just attach them to the group, and everybody in that group is going to take that exam. I don't know if that brings a whole lot of understanding based on what I just explained. So I'm just going to walk you through this. You could create more tabs if you want, but for this case I'm just going to leave it one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say Soft group. I'm just going to create a group which I will be adding some examinees to. The group description is mandatory, so you need to give a short description about it. In this case, I'm just going to say this is a sample group. Okay. And I'm just going to say create group. And we can see the group over here. Apparently, there is no examinee here because we just created it. So we can always add examinee if we want to. And we're going to walk you through the process in the next tutorial when we add examinees to the system. For the meantime, thank you so much for watching this, and see you in the next tutorial.